All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another AMA by the Olympians. Today, we're joined by the Gold Standard DAO team and some of the partners at Load. How are you guys?
Doing really good. Thanks again for having us.
All right. So we can begin. Sorry for the technical difficulties we had before, but okay, it is to be expected sometimes. Could you briefly introduce us to your project? What do you think makes it unique?
Ash, this is all you, my friend.
Oh, I think you're muted. At least I cannot hear you.
Yeah, you're on mute,
Oh,
Cash. There you are.
there we go. Okay. How about now? Better?
Yeah.
Better, much better.
Yep. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So what makes Gold Standard DAO different to other OHM forks? What separates us from them? Um, so our treasury, our primary asset is being the backing of gold. And it's our approach to the whole 3-3 3-3 DeFi 2.0 setup. So I guess the way to look at the GST token would be almost like a market index token of its backing, which its backing is includes physical gold, which is the AUX from Load. So yeah, that's basically what makes us different is where our token is actually tied into the real world with physical assets, physical precious metals, and it's basically seen as a market index token of the gold backing it and the other currencies like the interest-bearing BTC, etc., backing the token.
All right. Why did you choose Syscoin in particular for launching your project? Because we haven't seen many projects there. Do you think being the first mover there will give you an advantage?
It's the technology behind Sys. So what we know with Sys is they're looking at implementing, they're getting ready to implementing the ZK rollups technology. So just for anybody that doesn't know what that really means, basically that almost gets rid of gas fees. So you pretty much get rid of gas fees and you get rid of transaction wait times as well. So imagine everything's instant, almost instant, and free to put through a transaction. It's free to stake, it's free to unstake. So that was what our thinking with Sys, on launching on Sys was there is it is actually a very good network, and especially once they implement their ZK rollups technology, that's a game changer. Then will be the first DAO to be frictionless almost. That's what ZK rollups will be implementing is frictionless technology for blockchain. So no fees and no wait times. That's the reasoning there.
All right. Yeah, that seems convincing, at least for choosing the blockchain over others. How do you plan to
Mm.
use your treasury once you launch? Because many DAOs seem to forget about that, and they just launch and they don't do much with their treasury.
Yeah, absolutely. So having an idle treasury is crazy. I don't see why you would not do anything with the treasury. This is why we're taking the approach of having interest-bearing assets and DAO tokens, governance tokens being accepted into our treasury. There's a fine line here between talking too much, over promising and under delivering. So we're trying not to talk too much about the future plans and stuff like that. We want to actually show via actions. The first action is getting the interest-bearing assets and governance tokens accepted into the treasury. So the plan there is let the assets accumulate. So it's working. The treasury is always working. It's accumulating more assets through the interest-bearing um, through the interest-bearing cryptos or whatever else. And then once we have enough vote for some of these, projects with their governance tokens, then we can start making some decisions for those projects as well that kind of favor GSD. So yeah, it's a bit of a pull. It's a bit of a power pull. That's why a reason why you participate in bonding with GSD. You're basically joining this power pool that's looking at moving on to other things as well. So short answer is that's what we're looking at doing with our treasury, using it to actually influence other protocols, gaining the interest-bearing assets, getting the interest-bearing assets in there, and potentially looking at some other investments too. Using the treasury funds to maybe invest in new projects, to become like an incubator type thing. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's the immediate plans for the treasury that we have.
All right. So since we have Nick here, could you guys elaborate on your partnership with Load and how it will benefit you?
Actually, you want me to take this?
That would be awesome. Yeah.
No worries. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to speak there, Rakim. So yeah, once again, really excited about the partnership that we have going with the GSDAO community. As you guys know, this is a gold standard DAO, gold being the emphasized word here. In order to do that, being backed by a tangible physical asset provides you as a token holder, a certain amount of protection in terms of the valuation of the token. The token, of course, can go to the moon and will continue to grow as the treasury grows. But at a fundamental level, there will always be enough in terms of assets and in the treasury to support the value of 1 milliounce of gold, right? And that's where AUX comes in, playing a supporting role for the treasury with the DAO, because we are producers, worldwide producers of digital gold and silver that is decentralized, that is vaulted, audited, and insured, and readily accessible for people to get access to. So, we help support the treasury and back the treasury so that token holders can have confidence in this asset, but also users have the opportunity to bond and stake digital gold into the treasury for a mildly more preferential rate, which is another advantage of acquiring our AUX, our digital gold token, as well. For those of you who have never heard of us before, we spent a long time, 4 years, building a really solid legal foundation for us to take this gold and silver into the DeFi space. Crypto is a complicated place when it comes to regulation, and so is gold and silver. And so naturally we said, let's take these two complicated subject matters and mash them together. But now we're finally at a point where we can do awesome collaborations with the DAO and, take hard money into the future. So that's just a little bit from me. Cash, I don't know if you want to add anything else there. I also see that Sea Captain has joined us, so welcome to the conversation. But Cash, anything else you'd like to add? Can't hear you.
All right. Maybe he can tweak the mic meanwhile. I was wondering, since we're speaking of partnerships, are you guys partnered with Syscoin as well? How do you think this will benefit you?
Great question. While Syscoin is figuring out, while Cash is figuring out his microphone there. We've been operating on the Syscoin blockchain for almost 4 years now. Crazy how time flies. Syscoin has just been so instrumental in making our digital gold and digital silver work at the speed of business. We have created this gold and silver to be functional as a currency as well as a store of value, just like in a traditional sense. And it's always been lightning fast for us. So Syscoin has been an excellent partner for us over the years. And we're looking forward to have the opportunity to bring a new player to the forefront through the Gold Standard DAO. So I don't know if that answers your question there, Oraculum, but it's just my 2 cents from where I'm standing. I'd love to get an introduction from our fourth attendee here or speaker, Sea Captain. How you doing?
Oh, I believe he's muted. Can you hear him?
Seems I cannot hear him. No.
All right. Yeah. Today seems to be the day in which everybody's mics are not working.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for bringing me up. My name is Matt. I'm managing the marketing for the Gold Standard DAO. It's my pleasure to be with you, all of you here, guys.
All right. Do you want to continue elaborating on what Nick was
Sure.
saying?
Yeah, sure. So our partnership with Syscoin is definitely something very, very important and crucial to the success of our project. And you can see, like, if you are following the Twitter of Syscoin and Lode, you will see that we are working together to promote the project. There was a couple of tweets from the Syscoin verified account on our project as a first DAO on the Syscoin Layer 2 network. So yeah, we are looking forward for this collaboration and happy to have the Syscoin community joining our project as well.
All right. What do you think, since the year just started, what do you think are your goals for this 2022 for Gold Standard?
Yeah, I think our main goal now is the public sales. Upcoming public sale is coming up in a few days, and followed by the main launch early February. So that's our main focus now. And as Cash mentioned, so once we have the treasury, we'll start building the treasury and focus on how we can invest those money.
Okay. Cash, do you want to add something?
Yeah, can you guys hear me now? Or
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I'd say for this year, our biggest goal is sustainability. We've seen over the last 2-3 months, we've seen a lot happening with the 3-3 concept. We've seen the rise and fall of many other DAOs. And we're seeing what it's going to take to be sustainable, and what it's going to take to create a strong DAO. So it's been a blessing in disguise to be able to wait in the background a little bit and watch and learn from a lot of other DAOs during the last 2 months, especially with this mini bear market. It's shown us everything we need to improve on. So that's going to be the biggest focus this year. Is once we've laid our establishment down, we've got the establishment set, the treasury is working, it's accepting bonds, people are getting their staking rewards. That's the easy part. The next part is sustainability. So we've already begun working overtime on ways to improve that, to improve the sustainability and reliability of the protocol. That's the first step. First step is sustainability. Once we reach that, we'll be looking at expansion. So adding insurance to the treasury, the things that are required to make to give Gold Standard DAO the most backbone out of the others. So that's going to be our goal for this year. It's going to be a big year. Is sustainability and reliability. So we hope to see you guys. We hope to go through that with you guys on this journey. It's going to be a big learning curve for DeFi in general this year, I think. So it's very exciting.
All right. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite an exciting year for DAOs. Since you mentioned it just briefly, but one last question from me before we move on to the community round, and everyone can ask you questions. What have you learned specifically from other DAOs since you guys have been, announced from a while ago? What other things have other DAOs teach you?
Have other DAOs taught us? That's a very good question. So the first thing that I'd say is 3-3. I'm sorry to say it, guys, isn't going to cut it. You know, when you're relying on behaviors, so you're relying on 3 different types of behaviors, one of them being bonding, the other one being staking, and the last behavior being not selling. That kind of goes against the reason why people join the protocol. So for that reason, 3.3 probably isn't the most suitable DeFi mechanism, right? So it's going to take a much more sustainable approach to DeFi. We think 3.3 as a base layer is probably good. It's a good component, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. It's going to take a little bit more thought and a little bit more planning. You know, the project has to be a little bit more in depth. So what's the treasury doing? Like we were asking before, what is the treasury doing? Where's the treasury going? How does this actually benefit me bonding? Besides me just giving away these assets into the treasury, how does this actually benefit me? Where do these APYs come from? So that's the biggest thing we've learned in the last few months. And that's what we're trying to mitigate right now, going forward. So even if that means if our APY is at 5,000%, 5,000%, something within that range, I would rather have an APY that's at 5,000% that actually works, you know, pays me out correctly, and I get rewarded from that correctly, than something that has 1 million APY and I'm potentially losing money. So that's yeah, that's the biggest lesson is 3.3 is not going to cut it, guys. It's going to take a little bit more depth to that, you know, to that way of thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of vanilla forks that don't really bring anything new to the table, and well, they naturally fail over time. So yeah, I guess that's a good point. All right, so that was it for me, guys. We can now begin the community round where anyone can ask you questions, and you guys, if you see anything interesting on the chat, you can answer it. For the people of the audience, you can raise your voice if you want. You can request to speak, and we'll bring you to the team. Meanwhile, if you guys want to answer any questions from the chat, you can do it.
Awesome, sounds good. We had a few questions from people in our AMA channel as well. I'll just quickly pull that up.
In the meantime, I think Cash, maybe I can start feeding you some questions from the AMA group here for our OMIs. Coins 2040 is asking, what governance area will be the most difficult to run your DAO?
What governance area will be the most difficult to run the DAO? How so? How do you mean? Do you mean with us implementing our own governance token, or us accepting other governance tokens into the treasury? Might just need a little bit more clarification on that.
All right, so we'll circle back on that question. So here's another question from Blockben Chain. GSD made a lot of research on Ohm forks and adopted a lot of innovations to make the project sustainable. Currently, how does the team feel or think the project will perform in the current market, and of course the short, middle, and long term?
Very good question. So I think due to the current market conditions and the market sentiment at the moment, I think a lot of people have a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth from the whole OHM fork scene at the moment. So, which is good, which is a good thing. It means we should be innovating. It means we should be developing, advancing the protocol. So I think it's going to be a slow grind in the beginning. Once we've done the right marketing and once we've proven ourselves as you know, as a sustainable product, or more of a sustainable product that actually works, I think a lot more people will start joining in, and we'll see some real growth. in Q2, Q3 with the protocol there. So we've got some major plans on tokenomics down the track as well. So I'm expecting some, I'm expecting it to be a bit of a slow grind, but it will definitely snowball as we prove ourselves to the market. That's the main thing. We need to prove ourselves to the market now that this is a sustainable option. This is a good option to invest in. So that's my thoughts there on that one.
Great answer. Another question from Gongdi. Do you have a backup plan in case there is an outage in the CL auction, like what happened with Diatom DAO? So any contingency
Good question.
plans there? You?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So we've been speaking with the couple launch guys. They've told us that the issue that happened with Diatom, it's only on the Polygon network. So it's the subgraph for the Polygon network on their platform. We've been assured that the Ethereum one has a 99% uptime, which is pretty good. So we've done our checks. We've done our checks with the Copper team, and they tell us that Ethereum should be fine. Saying that, as a backup plan, I think we probably use Balancer. If worse came to worse, just use Balancer. Yeah. So that's we've done our checks, but if worse comes to worse, then yeah, we go with Balancer. Just follow through with Balancer in the end.
Fantastic. Great answer. Just circling back on our initial question here that I asked you about the governance, what areas of governance will be most difficult to run in your DAO? Coins 2040 did follow up and he says he's referring to risk management for assets and collective asset ownership and management. I don't know if that gives you enough ground to work off of.
Risk management for assets and I'm a little bit confused on that question. We'll just need a little bit more elaboration on that. Can always feel free to send a message in the group chat or in our server, and I'll be happy to try and answer that after this. But yeah, not too sure what exactly they're asking there.
So we got a question for Jag, who has joined us in the chat, and I believe he's probably listening in as well. Is talking about GSD will be the first own fork to use Syscoin, and what advantages can Syscoin give to the GSDAO over other forks or other networks?
Yeah. So that's a very good question. So why Sys and where is that going? Where is Sys going, and why have we chosen that platform? So Sys, as it stands, is a very good network to use. Just with the transaction fees and the NEVM layer that's been implemented. Saying that, there is a lot happening for Sys. It is a very big up and coming project that we see the potential of, and we want to ride with. We want to work with that team. We want to work with the team that is responsible for implementing the ZK rollups. So basically, once Sys implements ZK rollups, what this means for DAOs is it means basically close to zero waiting times and close to zero transaction fees. So that pretty much puts DeFi in a space where there's no more waiting times and no more transaction fees. Can you imagine doing operations on the DAO, staking, unstaking, whatever it may be, for free, instantly? So this will bring a whole nother use case into the DeFi world, and we need to be paying very close attention to Sys and the ZK rollups technology that they'll be implementing soon. So very bullish on Sys. Got to be keeping an eye on them, guys. But yeah, that's the main two benefits is frictionless, no transaction fees and no waiting times. That's huge.
Yeah, sounds fantastic, honestly. So this is actually probably more of a question for CCAP and for Matt there. So we're getting a couple questions now about what are your marketing plans and how do you guys intend to get more investors? There are people asking questions about your main branding image to the general public and any improvements you guys are looking to make, or major moves you guys are looking to make in terms of marketing. So maybe Sea Captain, you can speak to that.
Sure, yeah, that's a very good question. So marketing has been always at the forefront focus of the team. It's one of the top priority for us, and we already started our marketing activities since last month. For example, we have done a couple of collaboration with a number of crypto influencer on various platforms such as YouTube and Twitter, as well as we organized a number of giveaways on Discord and Twitter. And we'll continue to do that in preparation for the upcoming public auction. We'll continue to collaborate with additional influencers, as well as we are planning for a very big giveaway during the public auction. So stay tuned for more information on that. We'll definitely continue to work closely with our partners, Syscoin and Load, for more opportunities to promote the Gold Standard project. And also in terms of marketing, our project was recently featured in the January 2022 edition of the Morgan Report, which is a world-class publication about wealth. We will be also issuing a press release to announce major milestones such as the public auction and the main launch early February. In addition to all of this, we heavily rely also on our community to promote our project. So if they have any marketing ideas, they can share it with us on our Discord server, where we have a dedicated channel for community marketing. So they can share their idea with that. And I would like to take this opportunity also to thank our community and to thank also our community managers and assistants. You're doing a great job helping our members on Discord and answering their questions. So that's also another important element of our marketing strategy. So I hope this answers the question. Thanks.
I think that you answered it very well. So well said, Matt. And yeah, looking forward to keeping the collaboration level high. The Morgan report, for any of you who don't know, David Morgan is a world-renowned metals investor. Highly recommend checking out his publication at the Morgan Report. Very easy Google search there. Cash, I think you had mentioned that there were perhaps some questions coming in from the DAO's channel or another channel as well. Did you have a chance to accumulate some of those?
There are, yeah. I'm just in the channel now, so I will go through the first question. Okay, AMA questions. So actually one of them is for Load. Will Load think of listing other precious metals in the future, the same as gold and silver? And if so, could GSD integrate this into the treasury?
Well, I mean, Cash, I think that the decision as to adding more metals to the treasury is really a determination for the DAO. I would hope so. Load, what's great about Load's system is we're built to tokenize any precious metal, and it's really just a matter of finding the right business use case to bring that product to market, right? So
hey, and welcome back.
Copper, we could do cobalt, we could do any of your favorite minerals. Just pick one. Diamonds, et cetera, et cetera. We like to call what we've created our Boolean engine, and it's one of the most efficient systems in the world for taking real world hard physical assets and making them liquid and accessible in a digital format, really bringing these old world commodities into the future. And what you guys are doing with the DAO, Cash, is just so fantastic. It's really proving new ways for gold, silver, these things that are kind of known colloquially as being unchanging, showing that they can have a function and a purpose and a role to play in the exciting world of decentralized finance and crypto. So, if we did bring new assets to market, I wouldn't see why we couldn't add new minerals to the treasury.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So the capability is there. It just comes down to whether you guys, we're here to serve you guys at the end of the day. So the capability is there. It just comes down to whether you guys tell us to tokenize a new asset or tokenize a new mineral. So they can do it, which is awesome. which means then we can implement it into the DAO. We can use that as something that we accept into the treasury. So yeah, to answer that question, yes. Yes, we can. Yeah,
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So the next question was, what currently or planned in the near future differentiates GSD from OHM, besides being backed by precious metals? I think the most important thing when you guys are looking at projects to invest in, or what's the best DeFi project, or what's something that I can actually sustain, is look at the team. Look at the team and see if the team are actively addressing issues. See if the team are actively working on innovations. That's probably the most important thing that I'd invest in. It's the thing that backs the treasury, that backs the project, that backs everything. It's the number one backing is the team. So to put it short, I'd say our team is relentless on making sure that sustainability is reached and that the gold standard is brought back. That's our ethos. So if that's part of your ethos too, welcome to the ride. Let's do this together. Yeah.
Well said. Any other questions from your neck of the woods?
That was the last one on my side. If there are any more in the OMI's chat, I can answer them. Otherwise, yeah.
Well, I have a question as well, and this might be just throwing a bone here, but I think it's important to talk about. Community members of the DAO and people who follow you guys in the channel, they'll have opportunities to suggest new innovations for the project, right? Speaking about how the team, it's important for you guys to always be innovating, always be building new things to make those differentiations a reality. Can you speak a little bit to the governance and how people can participate in submitting new ideas to the DAO? What's the best way for them to take an active role in your community?
Absolutely. So we haven't implemented our governance token yet. We're just looking at the best way of setting that up. But we are very active in our Discord. So we see everything. Believe it or not, we have close to 9,000 people in our Discord now. I'd say 99% of the suggestions you guys make, we have seen. We listen. That's one thing about joining our DAO as well, is you're not just a number. You're not just it's not like you won't be heard. If you join our community, you make a suggestion or a concern, we will listen. We have community managers there that are very active, and they, if it's not a reply from one of the founders directly, you will get a reply, and most of the time your suggestion will get pinned. So if it's something that we will seriously consider, usually we'll pin your suggestion or your comment, and we'll talk to you about it. So we have a very open community, and we encourage community feedback. We spend a lot of time talking with our community as well. So in terms of contributing to the DAO, making suggestions or voicing a concern, we're there and we're ready. We're ready to listen. So we will communicate with you guys in our Discord on this. So that's the best way, is join our Discord and start the conversation, because we're there for it.
All right.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was thinking if you guys in the chat have any more questions before we wrap things up, or if you want to join the conversation, if you have a mic, you can request to speak.
So just sort of while we wait for some more questions to come forward here, there's another question for Sea Captain here. Oh, Coins 2040, very engaged. Thanks for throwing us another question here. what do you think the biggest problem in DeFi 2.0 is?
In DeFi 2.0, that's a good question. So I think currently there are some good solutions. There are some good solutions to DeFi and to basic finance, that are available for DeFi 2.0, but it's very lacking still. So it's only one piece of the puzzle. And I'm finding that across not just OHM forks, but a lot of other protocols, is they seem to only have one component, but many other components are missing. I think that's the biggest problem. I think that's the biggest problem in DeFi 2.0 is we're just not there yet with the components in DeFi that need to make it sustainable and well rounded off. So that plus security.
Can you speak to what some of those elements that would lend itself to sustainability? Can you expand on that just a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment with OHM, for example, with Olympus and those forks, they look at only one side of the puzzle. They look at only one side of the equation, which is 3-3. That's not enough. That is not enough. 3-3 is good. It was a good experiment, but it's going to take more. And that's kind of what they're calling DeFi 2.0 is 3-3 in a way. But it's going to take more. It's going to take more to create something sustainable, not just something that has a bit of a bull market run and then dies off when any sign of stress happens. So yeah, 3-3 is good, but needs more. It needs more development. It needs more features. It needs more depth. And it seems that not many people are thinking this way, which is a problem. We need to be thinking a little bit more in depth about this decentralized finance, because that's what it is. It's what we're doing it's financial services. So we need to make sure we remember that it's not just code. It's not just a simple protocol. It's not just 3-3. So this is how everybody should be thinking in this space. And if you're not thinking like that in this space, it's just a meme. So yeah, I'd say that's the biggest challenge in DeFi 2.0 at the moment.
Well said.
Yeah.
It really, for me, gives me a lot of confidence when I hear you talk like that, you have a really long-term vision for this product, that it's not just a one-trick pony, so to speak, and that you are thinking, about the future and not just, a bull run and then disappear, as you said.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're grateful that 3-3 has kind of brought us into the space, but we're not satisfied with just leaving it at that. And we're not comfortable with accepting anyone's money as well, unless we have a prosperous future for those people that trusted us. So it's all or nothing with us. Has to work. We have to win. So it's simple as that. But yeah, absolutely. You need to be sustainable. Has to be sustainable. We need to be thinking deeper than this. It's not enough. 3-3 is not enough. And there are some projects that are scrambling around trying to work this out. These guys will be the final heavyweight contenders during the bear market. The bear market is the perfect way to prove yourself, by the way. So this is the time we should be paying attention to these DAOs. It wasn't during the bull market. The bull market was everybody made money for nothing kind of a thing. This is the time where you will start seeing the real projects, the serious contenders, the ones that will actually profit you the most in the long term and work for you the most in the long term. So so definitely watch this space, especially during these current market conditions.
I couldn't agree more with that sentiment. Loda's been around for a minute. We definitely had to weather I think 2018 crypto winter there that took place, and it was amazing. There's a question from Gongdi. is wondering, he or they or she is wondering, why did you go through why did you guys do KYC for the IDO pre-sale? It's just wondering what the logic was there for that.
Good question. Good question. So just with the KYC for the IDO pre-sale, we weren't trying to torture you guys. It's not what we were trying to do. It was actually because we were advised by our legal teams that to do KYC, we need to, to do our IDO, we would need to abide by, by jurisdictional regulations. So, for example, the US has certain.
We lost you there, Cash.
We lost you, I believe.
Hello?
Yeah, now
There you
you're
are.
back.
Yep, we're back. But long story short, we had to do KYC because we were advised by our legal teams that we need to do that to abide by jurisdictional regulations. Otherwise, believe me, if it wasn't a requirement, we would not have made everybody do that, It's crypto. It needs to be an open market at the end of the day. So, it's making sure we do the right thing. That's why. I hope that kind of answers that.
Absolutely. And just to add some comfort for everybody, the KYC was conducted through Load, but we don't personally hold on to any of your information. It's not like we're sitting there, looking at every single individual's ID and all that. We use trusted third-party service providers, and your information is never shared with anyone ever. So you guys can have comfort that your information is private and secure. Just wanted to add that in there, Cash. We have a new question now from Worst Orphan. Can U.S. citizens buy GSD?
Yes, you can. So once we go live with the public auction through Copper Launch, that's a free-for-all. Anybody can participate. There's no KYC there. So as soon as it hits the market, anybody is free to participate. U.S. citizens can participate as well. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to finally opening the doors to that market.
All right. I think that wraps it up. Would you like to add any thoughts or comments before we end the AMA?
I just wanted to say one thing real quick before we wrap up. And it's a bit of a general voicing to the community because we're talking in the Olympians community. The last thing that I'd say is just real quick. If anyone has any concerns, the team has been internally KYC'd. So we have been KYC'd through the same platform, Sum and Substance, that everybody else is KYC'd through. So we're held accountable on that side of things. We're also using a multi-sig wallet through Genosis, Genosis multi-sig for the treasury, which will also be managed by Delchain Bank for another layer of security there. And we're in the process of running our audits now. Saying that aside, just want to say to the Olympians community and anybody looking at OHM forks at the moment is, watch. You guys have asked some very, very good questions here, and I'm sure everyone's kind of quite aware of this already. But look at the treasury you're looking at investing in. Look at the use case. Look at the team. The major thing would be the team. How serious are the team? Are they up for addressing these challenges? Because I can tell you guys now, it's not an easy job. Are they serious? If they're serious and they have shown that, then may the force be with you, and we'll see you on the other side of DeFi 2.0. Saying that, we appreciate everyone's time coming to our AMA, and we look forward to learning and growing with you guys during this exciting year of DeFi growth.
Okay, thank you all for coming. We'll have a recording of this AMA updated and uploaded to YouTube in a few minutes, so you can check that out in case you miss at least part of it. thank you all for coming again, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for coming as well to you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, guys.
Speaking
Thanks,
with everyone.
Oraculum.
Take care, guys.